I reached the farmhouse just before midnight. The gravel cracked beneath my boots as I stepped out into the freezing rain. The house stood crooked against the hills, dark windows staring back like tired eyes. The old weather vane on the roof creaked, spinning wildly in the wind. When I unlocked the door, the smell hit first: damp wood, dust, and something else, like wet iron. The floor groaned as I entered. Every shadow in that place felt alive. On the wall near the staircase was a faded photograph, a family in Halloween costumes, smiling stiffly. My uncle, my mother, and a little boy in a ghost mask. Me. But something was wrong. I don't remember that photo ever being taken. Before I could think, I heard it, a soft creak from upstairs. The kind that sounds like weight shifting on old floorboards. I grabbed the flashlight from my bag, but the batteries flickered weakly. I climbed the stairs anyway, my boots leaving wet prints on the dusty steps. The hall was darker than I remembered, walls lined with peeling wallpaper and faded portraits. Halfway down, I noticed a faint orange light leaking from the last room. A candle. When I pushed the door open, the flame trembled, sitting neatly on the old writing desk. And next to it, a small pumpkin. Its carved grin looked wrong. Too wide, too human. On the desk lay a piece of paper, edges burnt, with shaky handwriting. We tried to lock them away. But on Halloween, they always find their way home. Suddenly, the candle flickered violently, and a cold breath touched the back of my neck. The air turned thick, heavy. I could feel the temperature drop with every breath. I turned to leave, but before I reached the door, footsteps. Slow. Above me, the attic. I'd forgotten there even was one. The pull-down ladder creaked as I tugged it open. A cold draft blew down, carrying the faint sound of music. A child's lullaby, playing from an old music box. When I climbed up, the air was freezing. The attic was filled with old boxes, broken toys, and a single rocking chair moving gently by itself. On the floor, I saw footprints, small, muddy, leading toward the window. And outside the glass, through the rain, I saw him, the boy in the ghost mask from the photo. He lifted a hand and waved. The mask on the attic floor stared up at me, blank, pale, slick with rainwater. I froze. The wind hissed through the shattered window, but the air inside was dead still. Then came the sound, a whisper, faint, almost drowned by the rain. "Why did you come back?" It came from beneath the floorboards. I stepped carefully, the old wood creaking beneath me. The whisper came again, clearer now, layered voices, male and female, overlapping in a low chant. "The door is open, the door is open." My flashlight flickered out, leaving only the lightning flashes through the window. In those white bursts, I saw shapes beneath the boards, faint silhouettes shifting just under the surface, like shadows trying to crawl upward. I stumbled back, catching my foot on something, a loose plank. It lifted easily, and a gust of rot hit me. I aimed my phone light inside. Beneath the floor was a crawl space, small, dark, and lined with old photographs. Each photo showed faces I didn't recognize, people with hollow eyes, blurred at the edges, as if the light itself refused to touch them. In the center lay a small tin box. When I opened it, I found bones, tiny, broken, and wrapped in the same ghost-patterned fabric from my childhood costume. I ran downstairs, heart hammering, every step echoing like thunder. The candle in the hall had gone out, replaced by a cold blue glow leaking from under the front door. Outside, the rain had stopped, but the world wasn't quiet. It was too quiet. No crickets, no wind. Just the hollow ringing in my ears. Then, slowly, the sound of footsteps began on the porch. One pair, then two, then many. I could see faint shadows shifting through the frosted glass. Children, dozens of them, standing in the rain, masks tilted toward the door. Their voices rose, whispering in unison. Trick or treat, but their tone wasn't playful. It was cold, rhythmic, like a chant. My phone buzzed suddenly, a notification from an unknown number. It read, "You left the door unlocked."
The rain that watches. You ever notice how the rain makes everything sound softer, except your thoughts? That's how it started that night. The quiet patter of rain, the smell of wet pine, and that strange feeling that someone was out there, watching. I didn't believe in ghosts, not until the forest answered back. Scene 1. The cabin sat alone deep in the Appalachian woods, between Tennessee and North Carolina. It was small, old, and quiet, the kind of place people go when they want to be forgotten. I rented it for a week, hoping for peace and solitude. No noise, no city lights, just the rain and the sound of my own thoughts. At a gas station along the way, the old woman behind the counter gave me a strange look when I told her where I was going. Her smile faltered, and she said softly, "That place. Folks don't last long out there." I chuckled, thinking she was trying to scare me. But her voice was serious when she added, "Things don't stay quiet in those woods." That first night, I sat by the fire listening to the soft patter of rain on the roof. It was comforting, until I heard it. A knock. Not on the door, but on the window. Soft, rhythmic. Tap, tap, tap. 3 times, then a pause, then one more. My heart skipped. I looked out the window, but saw only darkness and dripping branches. I told myself it was a tree branch hitting the glass. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. Footprints seemed to the footprints when morning came. The sky was pale and gray. The forest smelled of wet earth. I stepped outside to breathe in the cold air, and froze. Bare footprints trailed from the tree line straight to my cabin window, and stopped there. No return prints. No sign of where they'd gone. They were human, no doubt about it, long, bare, and deep in the mud. Someone had been standing outside my window in the middle of the night, barefoot in the cold rain. I told myself it had to be a hunter or hiker. But who walks barefoot miles into the woods, and in that weather? By evening, the rain returned, heavier, louder. The storm pressed against the cabin like a living thing. Around 11, the lights flickered once, then died completely. The fire burned low, throwing trembling shadows across the walls. That's when I saw it. A handprint on the window. Fresh, wet, slowly sliding down the glass. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The rain roared, the fire cracked, and for a long, unbearable moment, I thought I saw the faint outline of a figure just beyond the window, tall and still. Speaking had seen through the voices in the rain. The storm swallowed every sound, yet beneath the rain, I heard a whisper. So faint I thought it was in my head. "Come outside." The voice was soft, almost curious. Then another joined it. "Come outside." It wasn't just one voice, it was many. Layered, old and young, male and female, all murmuring the same words in harmony. "Come outside." I backed away, clutching my flashlight. My breath fogged in the cold air. The whispers surrounded the cabin now, seeping through the walls like smoke. I dropped the light. It rolled across the floor, its beam catching a tall shadow in the corner, too tall to be mine. I locked the door and sat in the dark, shaking, heart hammering so loud I could barely think. The voices didn't stop. They grew quieter, closer, until they weren't outside anymore. They were inside, behind the walls, above the ceiling, whispering something new. "Don't go to sleep." Whole scene for the hidden room. I didn't sleep that night. By dawn, my eyes burned from exhaustion. The rain hadn't stopped. It felt endless, heavy, like the world was drowning. I decided to leave, right then. I threw my things together, ready to go, when I noticed something strange. The rug in the corner was slightly lifted. Curiosity got the best of me. I pulled it back, revealing a hatch in the floor. The wood was old, swollen from moisture, and the handle rusted, but it opened with a low groan. A smell hit me, damp, moldy, mixed with something metallic. My flashlight beam revealed stairs leading into darkness. I took a few cautious steps down. The air was thick, wet. And then I saw the walls, covered in carvings. Hundreds of names scratched into the wood. Some were so old they'd faded completely. Each one had a date. My heart dropped when I saw the last one, today's date. Before I could react, the tapping started again. Tap, 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 pause, one more. But this time, it came from beneath me. I didn't look back. I ran. Out the cabin, through the rain, barefoot, not caring where I was going. I just ran. Lori Scene 5 The Escape. I don't remember how long I ran. The forest felt endless, each tree blurring into the next. Eventually, I stumbled onto a dirt road and collapsed. A passing truck stopped, and the driver helped me inside. He said I looked pale, half crazed, muttering about voices and handprints. When we reached the gas station, the same woman was there. She saw me, and her face went white. She didn't ask what happened, she already knew. You opened it, didn't you? She asked. I couldn't answer. My throat was too dry, my mind too numb. She shook her head slowly, whispering, that hatch should have stayed closed. The woods remember everyone who wakes them. Closing scene, the rain that never ends. That was 3 years ago. I never went back. The cabin still stands there, buried in the trees, waiting. But sometimes, when the rain hits my window late at night, I still hear it, that soft, deliberate tapping. Tap, tap, tap. And no matter how many times I check, no matter how many mornings come, there are always footprints in the mud. The rain fades out slowly, thunder echoes far away.
I ran
Sleep
for the
tight,
back door,
if you
but it
can.
wouldn't budge. The house groaned as if it were breathing. Lightning flashed, and for a split second, I saw someone standing behind me in the reflection of the hallway mirror. I spun around, nothing. But the mirror didn't match reality anymore. In the reflection, the house looked alive, walls pulsing like veins, candlelight flickering in rooms that were actually dark. Then, in the mirror's version of the hall, I saw my uncle, pale, drenched, eyes blackened like burnt wood. He raised a finger and pointed behind me. When I turned, there was a shadow standing in the real hallway now. Tall, thin, wearing a child. The lights exploded with a pop, leaving only the pale moonlight. A door creaked open in the kitchen, the basement. That door had always been locked. I'd sworn I left the key behind years ago. But now, it hung in the lock, turning by itself. The sound came again, the whispering chorus. Downstairs, finish what you started. I didn't want to go. Every instinct screamed run, but something about that voice felt familiar. So I went down. The basement stairs were slick, covered in old rainwater. At the bottom, I found walls covered in old Halloween masks, each nailed in place, staring outward. In the center of the room stood a table, and on it, an old reel-to-reel recorder still spinning. The tape hissed softly, then played a voice I recognized instantly. If you're hearing this, you came back. You shouldn't have. It was my uncle's voice. He continued, trembling. They never left, son. The ones from that night, the souls we buried under this house. Every Halloween, they wake. And the rain, it's not weather. It's them. I turned slowly. The ghost-masked boy stood at the bottom of the stairs now. Behind him, figures emerged from the dark, pale faces, dripping, eyes hollow. Each one held something, candles, masks, and bones. They circled me silently, whispering my name, over and over. You opened the door again. Now you stay. The basement lights flickered, and suddenly, they were gone. Only the sound of rain remained. I stumbled back upstairs, heart pounding, lungs tight, but when I reached the front door, I froze. On the floor, written in water and dirt, were the words, "Trick or treat, forever." And from outside, the soft tapping began. Tap, 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 pause, one more. Just like before, I looked through the peephole. Nothing. Then lightning flashed, and in that one brief second, I saw hundreds of ghost masks staring back through the rain. Thunder rolls, the rain fades into silence. Jack-o'-lantern, you've just survived another nightmare, from Sleepy Dark. If you dare to return, subscribe to Sleepy Dark, and like this video, before the rain starts again.